Hello, friends. I made an effort today, so I was like, oh, why not? It's Easter and all, let me just put on a little pucker up right here. Look. Mwah. See? There you go. I made an effort. Just not on the hair because, fuck it. It's just, I don't know. I can't give it all. There's always gonna be something that is like, not today, so it's like if I do it on the lips or I do it on the face, right, the hair is just gonna be blah. If I do it here, then the bottom are gonna be pajama pants. Who knows? All right, but today what I want to do is hear me out here. So in one of the interviews that I did with the amazing Alison Gaiman, and if you have not read her book, I want to say The Covenant. Is it The Covenant? Jesus, I hate it when I forget a name of a freaking book. It's not The Covenant. Hold on, guys. Jesus Christ, this is so embarrassing. Such a great book. I love it. Starts with a C and it's on the tip of my tongue, and I cannot hold on. Okay, give me a second. I remember my password at least. All right, let's see. Alison Gaiman. She wrote, there you go. See, I knew it. It was on the tip of my tongue. The Collective. So if you haven't read The Collective, go ahead and read it. It is a thriller, and it is an amazing book. But while I was interviewing her, I got a bit of an epiphany. I don't want to tell you because that you're gonna guess, but okay, never mind. So I got an epiphany. What books do I think should turn into movies or TV show or some sort of visual medium? And I have read several books. And now, this is my personal opinion. There are some books that just stand out for me as just like this little light bulb just goes off in my head, and I'm like, this will look great in a TV or a big screen, and it's gonna look amazing. I don't know, sometimes it's the wording, sometimes it's the picture that the author just paints on the page that just translates so well in my head, and I can see it. I can see it on the big lights, the big Hollywood lights, or the small screen of Netflix or whatever other streaming media, but I see it visually perfectly, and there's some books that stood out to me. So this episode today, dun dun dun, it's for those books that I think should be on a visual medium as well, which is, well, I don't know, some authors are gonna get on the comments and be like, no, that's not my dream. But I think, right, it's one of those things that authors dream of, right? I know it's a dream of mine, humble old me, that are still starting out. Maybe one of my stories will come out in the big screen, or it will become a Netflix show, or hey Netflix, Amazon Prime movie or something like that, and I think, well, I don't know, I shouldn't generalize. It's my dream, right? So here it is, the list of books I think should go on a visual medium. Starting off with this one, and it is in no particular order, people. I literally just went on my bookshelf back there when I thought about this video, making this video, and I was like, what are those books that stand out to me in that way, in that manner? Okay, so don't get butthurt or anything like that. Okay, it's just no particular order. First one, With the Fire on High by Acevedo. Hear me out here. This gives me like Water for Chocolate vibes, right? Yeah. It gives me that whole magical realism while cooking, feeling emotions, going through all those emotions while you're cooking and making some great Latino food in there, and just going through the whole roller coaster that is life as we're growing up, right? And as being a single mom, which is a big deal. I was a single mom. So I think this book, as a movie, just imagine, right? Imagine the soundtrack to this. Golly, the soundtrack will be amazing. Can you imagine it? Oh my God. Merengue, reggaeton, a little bachata in there and everything. Oh my God. The soundtrack will be fire in this movie. So just imagine. Who do you think will play? I don't know. I'm a little stuck when it comes to that one. I don't know. Who will play? Who would play this one? I don't know. Hit me up in the comments and see. I'm drawing a blank here, and I'm not trying to hold you all up, all of that like that. But I think this will be a great movie. I can see the scenes, of the kitchen, of her cooking, her figuring out life, and all of that. The Spanglish lingo in there and everything. Yes. All right. Moving on. Next one. I keep talking about this book, and I keep talking about this book because I love this book. Like, I love this book. It's not that many books that I just hype up like that, like even years after I've read it, okay? But and I love big titles. Jesus, even though when I get tongue-tied saying them, I love them, I still love them. The Absolutely True Diary of a Part-Time Indian. It should be a movie. I feel like I'm old news right now saying that this should be a movie. I feel like it's a movie already, or it's already an option. I don't know. Let me know if it is. But this right here, just come on now. Imagine that. Movie in the rest, following the boy around as he goes through all those hurdles. Come on. I mean, and then wait, let me show you. So, and it can be a bit like, so the kid right here, the character, he draws, you see? So hear me out, right? Because we have the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, how some of those scenes, they go from cartoon to real people. And I can see a little bit of that, because right here in this book, we also have a little bit of that as well. Obviously, it will have its own little sauce, its own little sazon into it, right? That'll be a little different than the Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but still with the same look. Isn't this cute? I love this book. I really love this book, and it'll be like that, where it just this brings the lightness into it, because it discusses some heavy subjects, mind you, this book. And I think this book is banned. I think, yeah, Robin and I discussed it on banned books, which is horrible. Why should this be? That will be a whole different episode about banned books. Read this book, or read it twice because it's banned. How about that? Okay, but yeah, this book should be a movie. I can see it as a movie. I can see scenes already of the kid and the rest getting into a fight, then going into his new school and dealing with those people there. Come on, we all know what it's like to be the only one other in a room full of normal people. I mean, it makes for great TV. It makes for a great movie. I love it. Read it. All right, next one. Feed. Now this book right here. Babe, I'm making a video.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Jesus Christ. You ruined my mojo. I'm over here just like freaking being all cute and everything. Coño.
Sorry, baby.
Ugh. Okay, well, back to the video. Feed. So let me tell you about this book by M.T. Anderson. the dialogue annoys me. It really does. It really does. And I tell you why, because it's very close to how the dialogue is turning in right now in this world because of the whole TBH, you know, and all the acronyms that we use to shorten our words into just letters, so that way we can communicate a little bit more through text and so forth. And I think this author is a bit of a sightseer. I think he has a crystal ball somewhere in their house, right? And they can see into the future, because legit, this was written, when was it written? I think I talked about that before. I'm getting all confused on different episodes that I've done in the podcast, not here. So this was written in 2002, and it's 2022, so 10 years ago. And this author is talking about chips and how those chips gives us a feed, hence the title Feed. And then from there we can shop, and he discusses it kind of like Amazon, how we shopping with Amazon like that right now, and how a fashion just goes boom, 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 boom. You see it on your feed, which sounds like social media just going through your head. And as soon as you see something, you cop it, right? You want to get it, you want to buy it, you buy it. You have credits in your bank account, boom, boom, boom. It's a quick transaction. And then the shipping, once again, kind of like Amazon Prime, right? Just boom. Just comes in right away, and you get it. So just imagine how transactional this world is, which is kind of it's scary, because we're getting to that right now. How transactional it is right now, and it's super scary. And the way that the actions are is kind of like the same way that the dialogue is. Very not business-like, very impersonal, I should say. And where it's like, yes, this, how about that, blah, 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 TBH, blah, 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 another TBH acronym, blah, 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 and it's like that. So that's why I say it's annoying to me, but it makes sense. So I'm not saying that is a bad thing in this book, but it's annoying to me, just because I hated how we're doing that now. But it's a great book, and I'm saying it will be a great movie, because the futuristic vibe that I get from this book, and just painting that canvas on the big screen or on the TV screen, I think will look great, right? And put a whole bunch of teenagers, right? Young actors, a diverse cast against this futuristic backdrop. It will be, just imagine it. I think it will be so fresh, because it'll be very futuristic, contemporary, with how this world will move forward 10 years from now, and then seeing what life may be then, right? Tell me, wouldn't you want to watch that? I would. I mean, even if the dialogue is a little, I'll watch it. Scriptwriter will smooth that out. It'll be good. I'll watch it. Okay, moving on. I don't think you bought it, but it'll be a great movie. Okay. Ooh, this one I read so long ago, and it still stays with me. And I think I had I was in the plane. I still have my plane ticket here. This was my flight book. I was in a plane and I needed to read something, and I didn't bring my Kindle. So I went to the first shop and I was like, yeah, I'm getting something to read. And then I read this on the flight. So awesome book. Awesome. It is The Babysitters Covent by Kate Williams. And I believe I need to get the second copy. I believe that this is the first one, and I think there should be a second installment to this book. Pretty sure it is. If I'm wrong, let me know. If I'm right, send me the link. So hear me out. It is the scene in this book. It's a scene where I think they're in a mall, and it gives me. Don't tell mom the babysitter is dead. I'm showing my age here. And it also gives me a little bit of Buffy the Vampire Slayer vibes. I'm showing my age again. And only in a more modern environment, right? Obviously with young kids, because this is a YA. I read a lot of YA. Don't be judgy. Go somewhere else for that shit, okay? So, yeah, I think this will be great. And I see that. I see that action happening, that third act in this book where she is running for her life and trying to save her sister. Oh my goodness. And I think there's a take here that she has a parental figure. I forget what it was. Sometimes I forget because I read books long ago. They stay with me, but I forget the details. But there's a parental figure in here that she cannot she cannot speak because the wizard kind of like took her voice away or something like that. And I think that was so touching, and I totally can see that as a scene in a movie. This has to be a movie. I don't see this as a TV show because it's just the action that's in there, you know, and then the high stakes of this book. I don't see that as a show. I see that as a movie, right? And book 1 will be one movie, book 2 will be another movie, and so forth. This is very action-based with some magic. I think kids love that right now, especially right now, right? I mean, this is a modern take on witchcraft, but it's lighter than the new Sabrina, so I think this one will go well. And if you haven't read it, you should read this book. It's very easy read, very light mostly, you know, not so light on some parts, but you know, it was awesome. All right, another book. First of all, I love yellow. I'm gonna say that in every episode. I love yellow. Look at the wall. Look at the wall. I love yellow. Not Your Sidekick. Aren't like superheroes in vogue now? Aren't they like a thing, right? Yeah, they are. All this Marvel, Wonder Woman, DC comics, and all of that coming to life. Why hasn't this come to life? Why? It should. It should. It is amazing. Not Your Sidekick. This is a girl that doesn't have powers, but she's like, fuck it, I'm not gonna be your sidekick. You know, I'm still a hero in my own right. I love it. I love it. How empowering is that? How empowering is that? This will be great, you know, especially with all the various superheroes and powers, you know, kids getting powers and all of that is coming out on TV. This is a great time for this bad boy to come out. Maybe a Disney, Netflix. This is definitely not HBO Max, right? It's not dark like that, but Disney, Netflix, for sure. I could see this. Could I see this as a show though? I think so. Because, so hear me out. This is a superhero family right here. And she just happens to be the one that really, right? You know how there's always one in the family that doesn't like stand out as the others do, but that doesn't mean that they're any less, right? That they're less than. It just means that their powers are different and they just haven't figured it out yet. And she figures it out. That's the whole gist of this book. And it's awesome. And I love that. I love an underdog story. So I'm an underdog. I love it. When we feel like we can't do something, right? When we see others around us and we want to compare ourselves to them, and then we end up like the equation just doesn't, right, keep coming up as less than, until you finally have this epiphany and you figure out, hey, first of all, why am I comparing myself? Oh, it's Easter. The sky's opened. You know, this is that kind of book, and I think girls will love it. I think everyone will love it, really, because it just doesn't happen to girls; it happens to everybody. So for sure, this will be a show, and it can even the scriptwriter can do it to where like have a focus on each family member, because I'm pretty sure it's not just her with those doubts. When you peel the onion, when you peel the layers, you're gonna find that there's other people around you that probably had those same doubts or similar doubts or some sort of doubts about themselves and the capabilities that once you open yourself up, sometimes you give others the opportunity or the permission to open up as well. And then they tell you those things and you're like, oh, I wasn't the only one. And I know you weren't the only one. And then you're like, oh, okay, we can be in our feelings together. You see? Can you imagine that? This will be a show. All right, moving on. Okay, I already told you guys on the last episode that Lindsay Currie, it's a favorite author of mine, and I just blindly bought a book that I saw with her name on it just because I like her books. This was the first one I bought, and then the second one was A Peculiar Incident on Shady Street, and then the third one was the one that I showed you guys on the last video. So if you want to know which one that was, go ahead and go into my last video. All right, so this one, hear me out. So see how the cover is? That's how Lindsay paints her environment, paints her scenes, just like this, with this kind of, not ominous, I wouldn't say ominous, right? Because this isn't a middle grade book, but it's like a little bit dark with just like this, right? See that yellow, that bit of light? That's how she paints her scenes, which I think is very age appropriate. It's a little bit of darkness, but it's still a whole lot of light in there to where a kid can see that there's still hope in there in each scene, right? I know I'm getting philosophical on y'all, but hear me out. Stay with me here. So this will be a great movie. First of all, her books are standalones, but her books are rich in history. And this one, as well as the other one, are big on Chicago history, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's Chicago history. And so we get to learn about things that happened before and how they're manifesting as ghosts or spirits, right? But it's not that spooky. Once again, she's very age appropriate, right? That's why I read it, because I get spooked out easily. So my spooky level is middle grade spooky level. Don't judge. I warned you. All right. So this will be a great movie just because of the scenes, how that cinematographer will be able to paint it just how she painted it on the page. Hopefully they don't screw it up, right? And that way it translates onto the visual medium. But this, once again, the action, that's why I say this has to be a movie. This shouldn't be a series, because it's like the action is all there, right? The action is all in this book, and this should not be stretched out in a series, because you kind of, I think you would lose it a little bit, right? And once again, just the scenery in it, like this book's kind of like the Babysitters Covent. It's the same thing, where that third act is like boom, boom, boom. It's fire. You're going through it. You're gonna solve it. Boom, boom, boom. You're moving all the way to the end. So this will be a great action, middle grade, children's movie. Once again, Netflix, Disney. This is it right here. I hope Lindsay Currie gets it. I love her books. I would love to see her books turn into movies. Just saying. Okay, here's another one. This is a slower pace, right? This is a slower pace book, but hear me out here. Golly, it's like, it gives me, is it Neil Gaiman? The cemetery book. Oh my god, you guys are gonna kill me in the comments. Coraline, the author that wrote Coraline, and I hate it because I watched his masterclass and I hated that his name is evading me right now. Blame it on the head. Yeah. Okay, never mind. I'm showing my age again. Okay, so this is a slower pace, but it's so magical, and I can see it almost with those kind of like, even as a cartoon, kind of like those realistic looking cartoons with that blue tint that they usually put on cinematography. And then just once again, I don't know why, I get so much Coraline vibes off of this, and it's magical, it's whimsical, it's a little dark but not too much, right? And it leaves you feeling something, you know. It leaves you feeling things, and it leaves you having learned something, and that's why I think this will be one of those gems of like indie films that wins awards, you know, that you're like, yeah, everyone should see it, but only those people that are really into their feelings and that are really deep, right, that they will watch and they will get it. That's the vibe that I get from this book. I will totally watch it, not saying I'm a deep person and I will understand all the magical things, right? But I will definitely watch it because I think that the little realistic cartoons with the cinematography, with those shades of blue and purple and dark, I think they're so cute, and I think this will look so cute as a movie. Look at the cover though. This is an amazing book, by the way. If you haven't read it, you should. You definitely should. And once again, it should be a movie. Moving on. We're almost done. Last one. I said a while back that I'm gonna start getting into graphic novels. And look. Isn't it cute? Isn't it cute? I love graphic novels now. I love it. I didn't think I would. Because it's just something new. You know how when you start something new, you're like, I don't want to be. I know I don't want to be disappointed. You know, so it's like, oh, should I do it? Should I not? But I did it. I love it. I love the genre too, by the way. And while this is already in a visual medium, right? Visual medium, right? Because it's a graphic novel. Hear me out. I think this, with scenes that kind of like switch back from the cartoon version to the real people version, I think will be super cute, you know? Like starting the scenes with the cartoon version, and then slowly, right, the camera fades. And then you see the person, right? And then the actors start acting it out. And this is awesome. This is a great story, The OK Witch, because it's about a witch that she doesn't know she is. She just knows that she's a little weird. She's a little off. And she doesn't have many friends. But she ends up finding out that she's a witch. And she gets it from her mom. But her mom doesn't want her to go through the things that she went through as a witch, right? And the learning, not just the learning curve, but it's just, I don't want to spoil it for anybody that hasn't read it, but she just, it's certain things that the mom goes through that she's trying to save her daughter from, you know, just take her away from it, by basically taking her away from the whole being a witch thing. But once again, it's a book about empowerment and finding out who you are and choosing to be who you are, because you can learn who you are, but at the end of the day, your identity is your identity. That is what you choose. So that is a great lesson here, because not only does she find out where she comes from and who she is, at the end of the story, she chooses who she wants to be, and she stands for that. Boy, if that's not a lesson, look, I'm giving myself goosebumps here. But if that's not a lesson, I mean, that's a great lesson, right? So this story comes with a great lesson, but like I said, I think this will be a great movie. You know, I really do. And I hope there's other installments of the OK Witch. I will definitely, I need to go search after this. see if there's other installments of the OK Witch, because yeah, I can see other installments, you know, of her going through some hurdles as a witch now, you know, things like that. And I can see other movies being made of this, of the installments of the OK Witch. I mean, it's witchy, it's magical, it's very in vogue right now. Love it. What do you think? Let me know if I hit upon any of the books that you think should be made into movies or TV shows or whatever other visual medium that I didn't say, or if I'm wrong. Whatever, just hit me up. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye.